How did Tutankhamun die? And why is it such a mystery? But it's now all a part of history. In 2010, he was found to have malaria, but way back when, before 2010, it was seen to be a broken leg that led to his demise of being dead. Technology using CT scans reveal a young man about 19 years old who had a fractured leg that could have gotten infected, since primitive science would not have detected this so quickly. The young king died eventually, and the rest is history. The rumor behind what caused the curse that could put you in a hearse was that those who disturbed the tomb contracted bacteria, fungi, or radiation from that huge room where Pharaoh lies entombed in a mummified state. And to this day, our curiosity creates a debate about whether the curse is real or a myth. Those who are faith-based and believe in God and Satan feel that the curse on any man or this Pharaoh in his entombed mansion is possible, with all the satanic evil that exists and persists with witchcraft. And so they think the curse of Tutankhamun is revealed and unveiled, and the admissible evidence is based on the deaths and bad luck of those who went into Pharaoh's residence. What of biblical history? What of the biblical story of Ramses the Great, the Pharaoh who existed when Moses was alive and well? Ramses' magicians turned rods into snakes, and Moses' rod ate them up when he outmatched them with a similar fate that fixed the problem. But what does Tutankhamun have in common with the previous pharaohs?
He would inherit the leadership and become a pharaoh, the absolute leader in a culture that worshipped the gods.
He also had advisors who took pleasure in guiding him, and he would be buried in a tomb that was a huge room surrounded by things that he believed he could bring with him into the next world and should not be disturbed by anyone. What was different about Tutankhamun was his age when he took center stage as king. He was the youngest king or pharaoh at 9 years old, and he started ruling the underlings and the population of his nation until 19 years old. He ruled only for 10 short years, but is one of the most popular pharaohs because of the mysteries that make him a martyr in this amazing architectural and mathematical culture.
The legend of King Tut's curse has always captivated popular culture. Haunted by a supernatural force, it piques our collective psyche. Is the curse a truth, or just a figment of imagination? The discovery of the tomb, followed by mysterious deaths. Was the pharaoh's spirit seeking revenge? A question shrouded in fear. How much of this is fact, and how much is fiction? Dr. Ahmed and his team approach a tomb. Sarah translates the hieroglyphs on the tomb's entrance. Ali takes the lead, illuminating the path ahead. Yusuf keeps an eye on their route. Dr. Ahmed and Sarah examine the sarcophagus. Suddenly, the door slams shut, trapping them inside. Mummies rise, beginning their pursuit. The team runs, searching for an escape. Dr. Ahmed and Yusuf work together to solve the puzzles. Sarah and Ali hold off the mummies. They emerge, battered but alive, carrying priceless knowledge. The tomb's entrance seals itself again. The curse remains. Carter's team discovered King Tutankhamun's tomb. It was almost entirely intact. Inside, they found series of inscriptions, seemed to warn against disturbing the pharaoh's rest. However, these were standard funerary texts, meant to guide the deceased through the afterlife. Events led to the curse narrative, a mix of superstition and cultural misunderstanding. Media added a dash of sensationalism. That's how the curse narrative was spread. Today, the curse still fascinates people. The mystery of the Pharaoh's Rest continues. Howard Carter, the man behind the discovery, stood before the sealed tomb. News spread, so did rumors of a curse. Media played a big role in blowing the myth out of proportion. Yet, without solid evidence, the legend persisted. Many involved lived long, healthy lives. Carter himself died nearly 2 decades later, of natural causes. This evidence challenges the curse myth. Yet, the legend refuses to die. A tale fueled by fascination and fear. The tomb of King Tutankhamun, a place of mystery and fear. Studies indicate toxic mold and bacteria contamination. Researchers ventured in. Some succumbed to death. Old age, disease, accidents, not so mysterious circumstances. The curse is more myth than an established fact. Through evidence and research, we uncover history's mysteries.
The legend of King Tutankhamun's curse has long fascinated us, captivating popular culture and sparking our imagination. From films to books, the idea that the young pharaoh's tomb is haunted by a supernatural force has become an integral part of our collective psyche. Is there any truth to the curse, or is it just a product of our vivid imagination? The question itself is intriguing, shrouded in mystery and fear. Many have claimed that the discovery of King Tut's tomb was followed by a series of unexplained events and deaths, leading to the notion that the pharaoh's spirit was seeking revenge. But how much of this is fact, and how much is fiction? Some have argued that the curse is simply a manifestation of our deep-seated fear of the unknown, a way to explain the inexplicable. Others believe that there's some truth to the legend, pointing to the alleged curse victims as proof. But what if I told you that there's more to the story than meets the eye? The tomb's discoverer, Howard Carter, was said to have been driven mad by the curse, while others claimed that he was cursed for removing the golden mask from the pharaoh's face. The legend only grew as more people associated with the tomb's excavation died under mysterious circumstances. But before we dive deeper into the curse, let's take a step back and examine the historical context of King Tutankhamun's tomb discovery. The year was 1922, and Egyptology was still in its infancy. Carter's team was ecstatic to have stumbled upon the tomb, which was almost entirely intact. The events that led to the curse narrative were a mix of superstition, cultural misunderstanding, and a dash of sensationalism. You see, when Carter's team entered the tomb, they found a series of inscriptions that seemed to warn against disturbing the pharaoh's rest. However, these inscriptions were actually standard funerary texts, meant to guide the deceased through the afterlife. As news of the tomb's discovery spread, so did the rumors of a curse. The media played a significant role in perpetuating the myth, with sensationalized headlines and exaggerated reports. And yet, despite the lack of concrete evidence, the legend persisted. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence that challenges the curse myth is the fact that many people involved in the tomb's excavation lived long, healthy lives. In fact, Howard Carter himself died of natural causes in 1939, nearly 2 decades after the tomb's discovery. Furthermore, studies have shown that the tomb was contaminated with toxic mold and bacteria, which could have led to the deaths of some of the team members. It's also worth noting that many of the so-called curse victims died from old age, disease, or accidents, rather than mysterious circumstances. The reality is that the curse of King Tutankhamun is more myth than fact, a product of our imagination and fear of the unknown. By examining the evidence and separating fact from fiction, we can gain a deeper understanding of this fascinating piece of history. So, what do you think? Do you believe in the curse of King Tutankhamun, or do you think it's just a myth? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're interested in exploring more ancient mysteries and curses, be sure to check out my other videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.